precision matters. Our medical experts use advanced, data-driven treatments to optimize performance, recovery, and longevity. Live longer, stronger, with Game Day Men's Health.
When the doctors told us we was having a girl, I cried. Yeah, I was like, oh my God. I get to name a child after my sister. When I was in prison, when I started going to prison, I was like, I just want to watch my daughter graduate. I worked at the gas station 5.5 years, and I probably hated 5 years of the time that I worked there. But I didn't want to quit because I didn't want my wife to think that I couldn't keep a job and be a burden to her. I needed money, so I was selling weed. But yeah, it was definitely my wife. I have a good wife. She said, you ain't got to do that no more. And I just trusted her. And I let the chips fall where they may. And, you know, it was rough. I always tell people, like, I had way more money then, but I have more in general in life, you know, with her.
You already know what time it is. Welcome to the Dad Side.
Hello, and welcome to the Dad Side. We have with us today just a great guy. I ran across Mr. Alvin Perry on a Facebook ad. I reached out to him because I wanted him to share his dad side. I followed him, started looking at a couple of videos that he created and just some of the work that he does and giving back to the community. He's a father first, he's a comedian, he's a political activist and giving back to the community, making sure that what he does leaves an impact on this world. And I really, really, truly feel that his story, his dad side, needs to be shared with the world. So that's why we have him today, sharing his dad side. Welcome, Alvin Perry.
Thank you. And I'm a community activist. Now,
What did I say?
You said political.
Oh, my bad.
I ain't really into politics like
Sure.
that.
No, my bad.
But I'm always around politicians, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's another, not necessarily politician, but one of the first videos I saw of you was the former chief of police, McManus, advertising your upcoming Dreams to Reality special. Tell us a little bit about that.
The special
both.
or the video. Well, I've been wanting to shoot a comedy special for a couple of years now.
Okay.
And I really feel like, well, I know that I'm ready now, but a couple of years ago I wasn't ready. And I had a relationship with the chief, so I reached out to him, was like, hey, can you do this for me? And he was gracious.
And, I mean, he put out the video.
Yeah.
Supported what you're doing, your dream.
Yep. Matter of days, too.
Wow. And it's incredible that you're able to pick up the phone and call the chief of police and say, hey, man, I need this. And he met you and did it.
I really appreciate that, too.
Yeah. And so how does one get to become a comedy special? How did that happen?
Man, years of hard work. It is not easy doing, anything. Like, sometimes we see stuff that people are doing, like, oh, I could do that.
Right.
But you probably can't do it, especially if they've been, doing it for a long time. People watch LeBron James and criticize LeBron James all the time, and I'm like, he's a 4-time NBA champion. You can't even make your YMCA league. What are we talking about here? So for me, like I said, a couple of years ago when I wanted to do it, I wasn't ready, but I'm ready today, and it just takes hard work and dedication.
No, I believe that truly. I mean, that's where I was with the podcast. I started this, concept, 3 years ago, and I wasn't at the right headspace to be able to have these conversations. Yeah. I had to do a whole lot of internal just growing, and working on myself, coming to realization that everything needs to happen the way it needs to happen. Don't force anything.
Yeah.
Patience is something I did not have. I've learned to have that over time, and I think that's what helped me put it out in the direction and the way that it manifested today.
Yeah. Patience is something that we don't always have.
No, and as dads, sometimes we're forced to have patience when we don't really know what we're doing, and I know that firsthand. And
how many kids you got?
I just have 2.
Oh, okay.
And you have 7. You told me, correct?
Yeah, 7 kids.
And what are their ages?
11, 15, 19, 20, 24, 25, and 28.
And how old were you when you first became a dad?
I was 17.
Wow.
17 going on 18.
Okay. And what was that like during that time of your, whatever you're going, what were you going through during that time? School?
Yeah, I was still in school.
Okay.
Man, I was excited. I wanted to have a kid, but I didn't want to have a kid under those circumstances.
Sure.
But I was looking forward to being a dad, and it wasn't the right situation. Actually, me and her mom, my daughter's mom, we just started talking after 20 years.
Wow.
Yep. This year, I sent her a message on Instagram like, "Hey, it's been 20 years. Let's work this out."
Yeah. And she was open to it?
Yeah. Because me and my daughter had already been, working.
Okay.
I had got back in her life because they tried to keep me out of her life, and they had every right. I was in the streets at the time, so they were trying to keep her away from me. But I'm not the type of person that's going to give up on my kids. So and then my daughter's mom, she had got remarried and had 2 more kids. So, she had a family.
Sure.
So, I guess it was no room for me. And my daughter's grandmother was raising her. So I was like, well, I need to do something. I can't just pretend like I ain't got no kid out here. So I did what I had to do to get back into her life. And it was only right for me to make up with her mom.
Right.
I don't like any type of tension or anything else like that. So
It's not good. It's not it's not healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, I did that with my ex-wife for a long time. I talked about it in the last podcast. We created this toxic environment that wasn't good for the kids, and at one point, we weren't together and we hated each other.
Yeah.
And there was so much tension.
Yeah.
And there's so much just buildup of just negativity.
Yeah.
And it wasn't good for anybody.
Yeah.
The only people that it really affected was the kids, and we were too selfish to even see it.
Yeah, I'm blessed to not even have no situation like that. I have, with my wife, and I have 3 other baby mamas. I've never been on child support, and they've never blasted me on social media. I'm a good dad. I pat myself on the back.
Well, I mean, that matters.
Yeah.
I mean, because they'll do it in a heartbeat if you're not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I can't relate to some of the stories that some people tell, because I try my hardest to be a good father, you
Right.
know, and to have a good relationship with them too. I remember I told my baby mama, I was like, I'm gonna always help you. I was like, well, you're struggling. That even though my daughter lives with me, that means she's struggling, because when she's with you, she's gonna have a hard time with
Right.
whatever. So anything that young lady needs, you know what I'm saying? You need something? Yeah, I got it. Can you send me this? Yeah, I got it. And my daughter, I've been raising my daughter since she was 6 months. She about to be 16.
Wow. Yeah. This is your stepdaughter?
No,
real? Okay.
Yeah. When me and my baby mom broke up, my daughter was 6 months.
Okay.
And I was like, I want to raise my kids. And I was in a better financial situation. And honestly, I was a better parent. So she's been with me all this time.
And you have that bond with her.
Yeah.
And that's something that you can't create. It's built over time.
Yeah. I should have showed you this video. You probably didn't see the video.
What's that?
I have a video of me rapping, and both of my daughters, my 2 youngest daughters, is like with me, and one of them is like hanging on my neck and pulling me, and my eyeball is going up.
How old were you?
I'll show it to you after.
Yeah, absolutely.
This was just maybe 8 years ago. I don't know. It's been a while.
And so tell me a little bit about your story of being a dad at an early age, learning things that you weren't, primed to learn at that time, being a dad and figuring all these things out. How did that, how was that?
Stressful. You do not know how to be a dad. Nobody is raising you to be a father.
Right.
If you have a father in your life, he's raising you to be a man.
Sure.
But there's a difference between being a man and being a father. Those are two separate things, right? Because you may not never have kids.
Right.
Right. So I never even had a father. So I never even had guidance anyway. So, and then me and my baby mama had an issue. So I didn't even see my daughter when she was born. I didn't meet her until she was a month and a half old. And I remember I went to go buy her some stuff. I didn't know nothing about this. This is how ignorant I was. I go to JCPenney's and I'm buying things, right? I'm not buying things based on her age because I don't know anything about buying baby clothes. I'm buying stuff and I'm literally picking up shoes like, it look like a baby could fit this. Oh, I'm picking up stuff, it look like a baby could fit this.
Yeah.
And when I dropped it off, it was all different sizes.
Right.
0 to 3 months, 9 to 12 months, 6 to 9 months. And she was like, why are you buying? I was like,
This is the first time I've ever done
this
this.
is the first time I've ever done this. And I did it by myself, not with anybody that was like, hey, this is what you do, this is what you do, you know. So, you know, you have to learn these things as time, but you have to be willing
You have to be willing.
to learn them, you know. So with my daughter, right, a Joy, when me and my baby mama broke up, I had never actually raised a child
Sure.
from a baby. So I used to only feed her oatmeal. I didn't know what to feed a baby. I would just give her oatmeal. And this was in 2010, 2011. 2011. I used to have my females friends come over and bathe her. I'm like, I don't want to be,
I understand.
touching her and all this other stuff. And but I have to learn. You know, I was like, I can't keep having people come over here every day, and you know, I have to figure out what to feed her. You know, what was the best diapers to give her. You know, teach her how to walk and all of these things. And it was probably one of the best experiences I had as a father is raising her, because it gave me, you know, all the skills to be a better father to my other kids.
And that's something you would not have learned had you not gone through that process.
Yep, exactly.
Learn
And I have a unique story with pretty much all my kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, except the last one. Yeah, but the all of them, all of the other 4 before them, it's a unique story about how they even came into this world.
Well, let's hear it, man. I'm the floor is yours. The platform is yours.
So my oldest daughter, her name is Jade.
Okay.
Me and her mom worked together at the commissary, and you know, we were just messing around. She liked me. I didn't like my first 3 baby mamas. I did not like them. I just wanted to be having sex, which was ignorant. Not ignorant to have sex, but
The process
you know,
of doing
yeah,
that.
the process, everything that come with it. Like you. I'm not saying you gotta like these women, but if you're not using protection, you better like them, because you know something could come from it. Well, anyways, this particular day, I had seen this girl, and I gave her a compliment, and she was like, "I'm glad somebody like you, because I don't like you." And so I remember I wrote her a note, like, you know, let's go do something, and I passed the note to her, and we walked off and went and did it, and that was February the 11th,
That's my birthday.
1997.
Wow.
That was actually the last time we had sex.
I was 17 years old.
Me too. Yeah,
On that day.
Yeah, that was the last time that we had sex, and she ended up getting pregnant, and then my oldest son Ashton, I didn't meet him till he was 8 years old.
Wow. So
Now-
you didn't even know you had a child.
Nope.
The first 8 years.
I had been around him. Me and his mama was friends.
So you knew this child. You just didn't know you were
I
the
had
dad.
seen him, but I wasn't going looking at him like he was my kid, you know. And my sister was like, "You know who you need to take a DNA test on?" And I was like, "Who?" And she was like, "Ashton." And I was like, "Who is that?" And she was like, "That's Shannon's son." She said, "Every time I see him, I tell her he looks like you. That's my nephew because he looks like you." And I was like, "Girl, whatever." So Shannon called me and tells me the story about how this might be my son. And when I go see him, I was like, "That's my son."
You see it now.
I mean, he was the splitting image of me. And so, you know, we took a DNA test, and that was my son. And it was just crazy that I had been around him. And I used to tell his mama, like, she used to be like, "When we going to be together?" And I was like, "I don't want to be with you. Like, you got these kids, and ain't none of them mine." And actually,
And one of them was yours the whole time.
Yeah, so once we took the DNA test, he's been with me since then.
He has?
He's 24 now.
Wow.
He'll be 25. Yeah, he came to live with me, and he's been with me ever since then. Tyree, I came home from the club one night, and his mama called me at 3:30 in the morning. I used to sell drugs. And I was like, if I come over there, you got to come with me. And so she was like, all right. And, I wanted a kid. So I was like, you want me to pull out? She was like, no. I wasn't, but I was just being courteous.
You were just talking.
I was being respectful. And then a joy, nothing, it's no crazy story with a joy. But when I was in prison, I knew that if I had a daughter, I wanted to name her a joy.
And what was the reason behind that?
I don't know. I was trying to come up with a name.
Just something different?
Yeah. So I was like, when I was in prison, I was like, I was thinking of all these things about my life, right? So even with the community organization, Theo, Together Helping Each Other, I came up with that name in prison. I came up with a Joy's name in prison. And I was like, I also make T-shirts, right?
Right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't do as much as I used to, but I make T-shirts. When I was in prison, I was like, I'm going to make custom T-shirts. So
You had these visions of what you wanted to do.
Because I was like, I don't want to keep coming to prison. So I was thinking of things that I could do and just kind of envisioning my life. And the Joy was the name that I came up with. I was like, if I have a daughter, I'm going to name her a Joy. There's no significance around it. It was just, I thought that was a unique name. I had never heard it before. And then my youngest child, Angela, I named her after my sister who passed away. So my sister was Angela Jeanette Perry.
And you
my
named
daughter's
her?
name is Angela Glenise Perry.
That just kept the name.
Yeah, when the doctors told us we was having a girl, I cried. Yeah, I was like, oh my God. I get to name a child after my sister. So yeah, and then my stepkids, Jacoby and Jamarcus, they're 25 and 19. They good kids. They musically inclined. So if they ever become famous rappers, thank you, because I don't want to work.
No grandchildren yet?
No, my kids are poor. They can't have no. They better not be bringing no grandbabies home that they can't take care of.
There'll be Grandpa Alvin coming here raising the little grandbabies, huh?
I'm going to have to, because they ain't got no money.
So, and talk to me about the incarceration. How many years were you in prison?
I've been to prison 3 times.
Okay.
And if you add it all up, it's like 6.5 years.
Okay.
2.5 years, 3 years, and then 15 months.
And this last time, is that when you came with all the different
No,
things?
the second time.
Okay.
When I did the 3 years.
Okay. And you want to talk a little bit about that during
the incarceration?
Yeah.
Don't get incarcerated. It's not good for anybody. The last time, so I guess the only thing out of the first 2 times is technically my kids wasn't in my life. Tyree was born a month after I got locked up. And then I hadn't met Ashton yet, and then my daughter's grandmother was raising her, so they had already kept her away from me anyway. She didn't even know I was her father. And I'll tell you that too. But when I went to do the 15 months, I had been raising these kids. They had been living with me. I had to sit them down. I was like, hey, I'm finna go do this time. And the only one, Joy, she was a baby. She had just turned 1. Well, by this time she was like 1.5, so she didn't know or understand what was going on. But my other kids, they did, so they would come see me, every weekend, and the 2-hour visit. You can't raise no kids like that. So yeah, I don't suggest I always tell people, if you love your kids or you love anybody, you're not gonna put yourself in a position to be taken away from them.
And so this 15-month stint that you did the last time, was that just like a eye-opener to you that I don't want to go back and do it again?
Well, the second time was an eye-opener, but I needed money, so I was selling weed. But yeah, it was definitely my wife. I have a good wife. She said, you ain't got to do that no more. And I just trusted her, and I let the chips fall where they may, and it was rough. I always tell people, like, I had way more money then, but I have more in general in life, with her and just,
a purpose,
stability, purpose, so many things that I have more of. So I wouldn't trade the money for the life that I have today. I wouldn't trade it.
And you have a peace of mind.
Yeah, I'm free.
Yeah.
I'm free. I'm not dead. And that's important because people are dying in prison because of the heat or they going crazy. Uh, you know,
Even
other
the
bad
county, I
things.
see it on the news about people just dying in the Bexar
Yeah.
County jail.
Yeah, mental health is real, and you don't get the care that you need. So if you're going through some stuff, you know, whatever it is, that's not definitely not the place for you.
And so let me ask you this: somebody that's done a total of 6 years in prison, what was the? I would say, let me ask you. So, what was the inspiration of becoming a community leader? Where did that come from?
Um, I knew I wanted to do something like that. I didn't know how. This guy, and I can't even say that. I guess he was like he put a battery in my back, but his white guy named Wade. I remember he told me he was about to get out of prison. He says, "Hey," he kept on telling me, "Man, I need to talk to you." So when I finally talked to him the day he was leaving, and he says, "What's up?" He says, "You need to be a public speaker." He said, "Man, you speak well, and when you talk, people listen to you." Because I was in this program and I was a facilitator for the dorm, and you know that it wasn't my first time doing something like that, but it was my first time somebody actively telling me something like that, like somebody that didn't know me or anything else like that. And at this time, Obama had became president, and that was probably the most inspirational thing I had ever seen, which was another reason why I changed my life too, was Obama. So I was like, okay, but I didn't know where to start. Then that was in 2008. I get out of prison in 2009. I didn't intend on selling drugs, but I ended up selling drugs again. 2010, 2011, it's about to end, and there's a shooting on Christmas Day. I believe it was like 6 people got shot. And
On the same day?
yes, on the same day. It was almost similar to the 4th of July shooting that just happened, but none of the people had died in the Christmas shooting.
Or were they related, or were
Yeah, I think a house had got shot up
Okay.
or something, and you know, whenever something bad happened on the east side, everybody has all these opinions, and I was like, man, I need to take a stand and show everybody that it ain't just negativity coming off the east side. You know, there's a lot of good people have come from the east side. So I started the I'm the East Side movement, and it was originally called the Black Movement. We were supposed to wear black T-shirts with white letters, and
Did it stand for anything?
no, it was just
I was just curious.
yeah, it was just I'm the East Side.
No, I mean the black movement.
No, it was just black T-shirts.
Okay.
You know, that was the idea, just wear black T-shirts. So it said I'm the East Side on the front, and it said "Stop the Violence" on the back. So we wore them to the Martin Luther King March in 2012 because that was coming up right after this had happened. And
How many T-shirts did you think you made?
at that time, I had made about 50, maybe.
And handing them out to people in the
No,
neighborhood?
well, I didn't sell them. Somebody else had that.
Okay.
The person that actually made them was selling them, and I just wanted people to wear them. And so when people started seeing the shirts, they wanted to wear them, and then they want the message. People, man, I sent them shirts all over the country.
Wow.
Because it's East Sides everywhere, also. But then also the message, people just wanted to support
Stop the
it.
violence.
Yeah, and I've been featured on the news. It was a big deal. It was probably one of the biggest movements that San Antonio had, low key, because then people went to I'm the West Side shirts.
Oh, so it started with the East
Yeah,
Side.
yeah. I made I'm the South Side shirts and different sides of towns. But even today, that was 2011, 2012. People still want those shirts. They ask me about them all the time, or you'll see people wearing them, or somebody be like, "Man, I see somebody wearing the shirts today." But it was important to just really show the positivity and the different type of people who come from, and all of those things helped me become the person that I am today. Because good started happening in my life. Everything that I'm doing now actually started around that time.
Okay.
2012. with the t-shirts, that started in December. The idea started in December of 2011. We actually wore the shirts in January 2012. I started doing comedy March the 13th, 2012.
Wow.
And then I formed my community group in April, I think, or April or February. Between February and April is when I started Theo together helping each other, and we started. Our first event was called. That's crazy. It just like literally slipped my mind just now. Bringing peace to the East.
Okay.
It was our first event, and so bringing peace to the East happened in March, and this was around when Trayvon Martin got killed. And one of my friends was like, "Hey, you should put together a march for Trayvon Martin."
And how did you feel about that?
I said, "Okay."
Okay.
This was on Saturday. We did the march on Monday. I think it was, I believe, Monday or Tuesday, one of them days. We got like 300 people.
Wow. From that time.
In a matter, they put that in the news too. They had wrote a newspaper article about it, about me. They was like, "Oh, from Alvin Perry's Facebook post, this how many people gathered." And it was a wonderful thing. Police came out, the police came out and they handed out the little sticker badges and stuff like that.
And it was peaceful.
Yeah. And then that just kind of, in the community, it just kind of drove me up, and I just seen all these good things was happening. So I was like, I want to keep on doing this. I want to keep on giving back to my community. I wanted to keep on doing comedy. I thought I was hilarious. I wasn't that funny back then, but I thought I was. And I kept on making T-shirts. Somebody else was making them, then I started making them myself. And I haven't looked back since.
I mean, that's good. I mean, all the positive things you came from, you wanted to change and be a positive influence in your community. It started from there, and look what it's transformed into this day.
Yeah, and I know it's called the dad side, so I kind of want to, stay there. In 20, so I get out of I got raided in 2011.
Okay.
I go to prison July the 3rd, 2012.
Okay.
I go do the 15 months. Right before I got locked up, I had made a post about my daughter because I hadn't seen her in years.
Right.
And my Facebook friends, man, they was amazing. They had found her. Oh, she goes to this school, yada, yada, yada. Well, I can say it because she's graduated now. She went to TAF.
Yeah.
And so I ended up getting locked up. And
this is before or after you met her? I mean, before you got... Okay.
Yeah, before. Yeah. Because I had seen her.
Right,
her.
but you had not been in her life.
Yeah, but I hadn't been in her life. And so I get locked up. I get out in 2013, September 2013. So I'm like, man, I need to get in my daughter's life, because I used to always pray when I was in prison. When I started going to prison, I was like, I just want to watch my daughter graduate. And so in 2014, I had found out that she was in a band before that. So they was having a concert at her school. So I was like, I'm gonna go up there and I'm gonna surprise her. So I had wrote a letter, put a picture in there, and I go up there and I'm watching this band concert, and it was all right.
Yeah.
The high school band concerts don't be live. They play a whole bunch of classical music.
Mm-hmm.
So the kids are lined up in the hallway, and I come out and I got this letter I'm looking for. And my daughter's, her mom's Hispanic and white, so she looks more like her mama than me. So I seen this little girl look like her, and I was like calling her name, and one of the kids was like, "Oh, she's not here today." So I was like, "Oh."
She wasn't even there.
Yeah, and it was a Friday, so the kid was like, I guess they seen me with the letter. They was like, "Hey, you want me to get that to her?" And I was like, "Yeah." So because they was like, "She catches the bus with me," so I was like, "Okay." I give them the letter. Monday comes, and I get a phone call from the school, and I answer, and they was like, "Were you here Friday?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they says, "Well, why was you here?" And I was like, "My daughter go there." So like, "Who's your daughter?" And I tell them, and they says, we don't have you on record, so you can't be up here. If you come up here again, we're gonna arrest you for trespassing."
Wow.
So I was like, man, and I didn't know what I was gonna do.
Yeah, you felt defeated.
Yeah, so like a year later, I was like, I'm finna go back up here.
Yeah. Did they ever give her the note?
Yes, they did, and I didn't find out till a year later. So
Okay.
they had the band concert again a year later, and which was 2015. I go up there, and So after it's over, she's in the hallway, and I know that this is her. So I didn't know what I was gonna do, like if I was gonna say something to her,
Sure,
because I just really wanted to see her.
mm-hmm. You have it played out in your head before,
Yeah.
but you don't know how you're gonna react at that time.
And I didn't know again about like the letter, if she had read it or anything, like what would be her reaction. So she's walking down the hall, and I'm looking at her, and then I just call her name out, and then she stops, and she walks over to me, and she's like, you know, I know who you are. She was like, I still got your letter.
Wow.
And she says, you know, they don't think that you can change, that you've changed. She was talking about her grandmother and I guess her mom. And we exchanged emails. We emailed for a couple of weeks, went from email to text to phone calls, and then I would go up there probably 2 or 3 times a week, once or twice a week, and have lunch with her, drive all the way over there to Tav.
Did she tell her mom that you were back in her life at this point?
I don't think so.
So she was doing it because she wanted to spend time with her dad.
She definitely wasn't doing it. She definitely didn't tell her mom, which is why I just
reached out to her,
because I was so I got to see her graduate. I got to see her graduate, and at the graduation, this is how I know that she didn't, because we had talked about it. Hey, we gonna let your mom and them know that, you know, you've been seeing me, and she was like, hey, they're on their way over here. We had took pictures together, and she was like, they don't know about you, so I don't want to upset them.
So you left.
So I left, and I was a little heartbroken.
I
know
bet.
What I'm saying? And so I tried to give her the opportunity to tell them to, you know, make the connection and say,
Right.
hey, but I don't know if she ever talked to her, because I would ask her, hey, you talk to your mom? You know, and she would say yes, and I didn't know if it was true or not.
Sure.
But
I mean, you had the relationship with your daughter. At that point, that's what you cared about the most.
Yeah. So by this time, 10 years had went by. So I was just like, me and her mom's birthday is 2 days apart. So I was like, well, her mom's birthday, I was like, man, I'm just going to send her a message.
Sure.
On Instagram and see what she says.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, look, it's been 20 years. Like, our daughter's grown, you know.
Did you have a conversation with your wife to tell her that you were doing this, or just something you just did?
My wife don't care.
Yeah. I was just curious.
Yeah, she's not a jealous person.
Yeah, no, I'm just curious.
And she knows, she the same way I've been in my daughter's life, my wife has been right there. You know what I'm saying? So
she knew when your daughter was back into your life.
Yeah.
She knew about the graduation. She knew about the letter.
She been in we done took family pictures together.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So
that's cool.
So I got a picture. Well, I got multiple pictures with all my kids. But and the first time we took a picture, I took a picture with all of them was on my birthday.
Is the first time you got all of them?
Yeah. My baby.
Your birthday this year?
No, 2015.
Oh, back then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No. 2015, I think. 2016.
And how did that feel, having all the children there at that one moment?
It felt good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it felt even better now.
Yeah.
Because they be like, where my big sister at?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a wonderful feeling, man. Kids are a blessing. They can change you.
Oh, they do. Mine changed me. I mean, I
don't cry. It's all
nah,
right.
man. It's just dark, man. I just been through some dark times in my life. You know, in 2021, I was homeless.
Yeah, I've been there.
And so it's like, without them, just being that beacon of knowing that one day that everything's going to be all right, you'll get lost.
But I tell people, it's cool to use them as inspiration, but don't put so much burden.
Sure.
On, my kids, because then you might. Who do you attribute your failures to? You know what I'm saying? So, a lot of times we be like, yeah, man, I did this for my kids. You could have did some other stuff for your kids, too.
Take care of yourself. For the most important thing you can do for your kids
is take care of yourself.
All right, folks, let's take a quick break. If you're feeling tired or not quite yourself, Game Day Men's Health is here to help. With their veteran-owned specialized services in testosterone and peptides, you can boost your energy and vitality. Let's hear more about how they can make a real difference in your life.
Your body isn't just a machine. It's your greatest weapon. At Game Day Men's Health, our expert treatments help you boost performance, recover faster, and stay ready for whatever's next. With tailored testosterone, peptides, and weight loss treatments. More strength, more energy, more years doing what you love. The future of your health starts now. Game day.
You have to put you first.
Yes.
You know, that's the one time that you can be selfish.
Sure.
Right, when your health, whatever it is, your mental health, all that is putting your. That don't mean like I'm not messing with my kids. That just means if you're not okay, how you gonna be okay for them?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? How you gonna be able to guide them and to be there for them and to to discipline them, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? That helps that relationship grow. So when they grown and they're having these memories of their dad, and they're positive, and that the memories that we see on TV and
Sure.
movies that we like, man, I wish I had that.
Yeah.
You can have that.
You can.
You can have that.
No, I wish I had that growing up, but I never was bitter about it. I was never bitter about not being able to have that memory of throwing a baseball with my dad,
Yeah.
or just all the the stuff that you see on TV that you're supposed to have, the milestones. I never was bitter about not having those. But when I had my daughter,
Yeah.
I made sure that I was present for everything.
Yeah.
I never wanted her to have any type of feeling that I don't know where my dad is, or I don't know if my dad's going to be here, or I don't know if my dad loves me. I don't know if my dad cares enough. I never wanted her to feel like that. So I did everything I was there.
You know how you go to like a award ceremony and they looking for you and they see you, they be. That's a good feeling, right?
It is a good feeling.
That's a good feeling.
I've taken pictures of other kids in the class that my daughter was in because I can see them looking.
Yeah.
And their parent wasn't there.
Yeah.
So I made sure, hey, let me take a picture. I'll send it to your dad.
Yeah.
And
I've
you
done
see
that
that
too.
kid light up.
Yeah.
That's all they want is that recognition.
Yeah.
I'll make sure your mom gets this immediately lit
Yeah.
up. It gives me goosebumps.
Yeah, man. My friend, she was like she might still be like a post lady, but her daughter and my daughter the same grade, and if I didn't see her there, I'm taking video and I send it to her, take pictures, I send it to her, so because I know she's not the type of person that just not gonna be there.
Sure.
So if she's not there, it's a reason why she's not there. But yeah, it's a wonderful feeling, man. Kids, they innocent. They don't know no. You know what I'm saying? They just living life. My kids think I'm famous. they think I am. Especially last year when I was going viral a lot. Oh, my friends be sending me your videos. And I was like, yeah, your dad's somebody.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's a good feeling to have your kids be proud of who you are and what you're doing.
Yeah, it is. I like doing videos with them. I don't do as much videos with them because they don't know how to act.
Right. Yeah.
But I do like doing videos with them. If I can get them to stop being goofy, But yeah, man,
You tell me how to do that, let me know.
Yeah, my two oldest, they not. Yeah, they've done like a birthday video for me, but they not gonna do no skits.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they've done. One of them has participated, but he didn't have to say nothing. He just had to walk by.
I love your skits, man. I love the one where you're talking about yourself, about how are you gonna sell video? How are you gonna think you're gonna sell tickets when they don't even go to the last buying tickets to the last event?
I started doing those type of videos because I couldn't get nobody else to do videos with me. Like when you want to do something, and it's like, man, I need somebody. So it's like I'll just
play both parts.
Yeah, I just play both parts.
Man, just let me know. I'll do some damn videos with you, man.
Yeah, man. You know what's crazy? I rarely get interviewed.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
In the time that you've been doing comedy, you just haven't had the opportunity to be
in general.
Okay.
In
your community.
I've don't get me wrong. I've been interviewed quite a few times, but what I mean by you would think that more people would interview me. I think people. I told my wife, I said, man, people are intimidated by me. One, because I usually I'm like the biggest personality in the room.
Right.
Just my personality in general. I can make anybody laugh, whatever. I've done podcasts, I've done radio, and people always want to do podcasts with me, but I just don't have the time to commit, and I don't want to tell people I'm gonna do something that I can't do.
Sure.
But as many podcasts and radios shows and stuff, I rarely actually get calls. It's usually from people I don't know. You know, but not necessarily people that I know.
People that you would think.
Yeah, would be like, yeah, man, yeah. I'm like, so I'll be like, maybe I'm doing something wrong.
I don't think you're doing anything wrong, man. I mean, I felt strongly about your story that I wanted you to be able to share it with others and
I
just to
appreciate
be
it.
able to just talk about what you've been through as a dad. I think these stories are so unique and they're like snowflakes.
Yeah.
Every dad experience is unique in its own way. It's done their way, and nobody can tell them how to do it. They've done it themselves. They figured it out.
Yeah.
And
I have some interesting dad stories, and when I say interesting, I mean it's not like something that somebody else probably went through. But I lost custody of my kids.
Okay.
When I got raided, the police lied on me, and made it seem like I had a whole bunch of drugs all around the house.
So tell me about that.
So, when my sister passed away, October 29th,
Okay.
2011. So she was living in Jacksonville, and we bought her home, and we knew she was gonna pass. So she was in my house for a week, and I wasn't going to sell drugs. So I was already selling drugs, but I was like, when my sister's here, so let me back up. When I had my house, I got broken into early that year. So when I went to go pick her up in Jacksonville, I had took everything out of my house.
But you want to make sure that
Yeah, all the guns, all the money I had, and everything. I took it out of my house, and I was like, I'm not gonna have anything going on because we grew up in church, and my sister sung gospel for 10 years, and they had 2 record deals. So it was a lot of church people coming and praying and singing and stuff. So I was like, I'm not gonna do nothing while she's here, and but I hate missing money, so I ended up, calling my partner. I was like, hey, I need to make some moves. So I was making moves while she was in the house, basically, on her deathbed. And so when I got raided, my sister had just passed, and it was the day of her wake. My baby was days away from turning 1, like a week away from turning 1. And my mom had just got released from prison. And why was I telling this? Oh, I know, because I got raided. Because they took my kids away.
Yeah.
So I had less than a half a pound of weed when they came, right? And but they was like, "Where's the crack at?" And I was like, "I don't sell crack, and not anymore. I sold crack since 2012." So my baby mama had to come get my kids because I was raising them. By this time we had broke up. I was raising them. I was a single father at the
and
time.
you had how many children at this time?
I had 3. I had 3 living with me.
3
Yeah.
living with you.
Yeah, 3 living with me. Ashton, Ajoy, and Tyree. And Ajoy was a baby. She was by this time it had been 6 months, so she was finna turn 1. And they was at school, except for Joy. Like I said, she was a baby. She wasn't at school. And so they wrote this bogus report saying it made it seem like it was a whole bunch of drugs and it was unsafe. The house was clean, wasn't no drugs all over the place.
But that's what the report said.
Yeah, that's what the report said. So they my baby mom was living in Austin, and they went and met with her, and I was supposed to have a liaison that would, come see me and whatever. And they never showed up. So because they never showed, and I was calling trying to, figure out what was going on or whatever. And I was like, hey, just bring my kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, bring my kids back. She probably had them for probably a couple of days, maybe a week at the most. You know what I'm saying? I was like, hey, bring the kids back. So she brought the kids back, and I'm taking care of them. So then when I go to court and I get locked up, the caseworker comes to the jail, and I was like, hey, ain't nobody. They was like, they never did their job the way they were supposed to do their job. So the whole time I wasn't supposed to have my kids, I actually had my kids.
You weren't supposed to have them.
Yeah, I wasn't supposed to have them, but they was like, oh, since this case is closed, you can have your kids back.
But you technically didn't have custody, but you had your kids.
Yeah, and then I was going to prison anyway. I was going to do the 15 months.
Mm-hmm.
When they had showed me what the paperwork said, I was like, I can't believe that. Matter of fact, even when they came, because they did come to my house once, and they checked, and they was like, well, there's no reason for us to take the kids,
Mm-hmm.
but based on the police report, we have to.
So they had to take them anyway.
Yeah. So I mean, but it wasn't like they was there when they came and snatched them away from me. They was already gone.
Did they ever make restitution for the false report?
No,
or
definitely not.
Yeah, I'm just curious.
No, definitely not. They don't care about that.
Yeah.
And then I had to take my baby mama to court because when we broke up, and we agreed that I would take care of the kids. I guess in her mind she thought it was a timeline, but it's like to me these kids with me forever.
Right. You made that decision.
Yeah.
These are mine.
So in 2017, they was going with her to stay every summer, and in 2017 come, and when they went to go stay with her, she was like, "Hey, can you withdraw them out of school and send me their social and all that?" And I was like, "For what?" She's like, "Oh, they gonna stay with me," and I was like, "No, they not." I said, "That's not what we agreed on."
And this is after you got out?
Yeah, I had been out by this time.
Okay.
And I had been out 4 years by this time, and
but they were, as soon as you got out, they were right back with you?
no, the day I got released from prison, September the 26th, I picked them up that same day.
And they had been with you
They had been
this
with
4
me.
years.
Yeah, all that time. Yeah,
And all of a sudden she's telling you.
yeah. So she was going through some personal stuff, and that's how she deals with it. Is just like running away from her problems.
And you were able to get custody back?
Yeah, I paid a lawyer.
Okay.
I paid a lawyer, and we went to court, and she ended up. She didn't sign over her rights. She just signed over an agreement that I would raise the kids, and my son went back because he didn't like getting whoopings. So he went back when he was 10.
Okay.
He just turned 20 yesterday or whenever the 7th was.
Okay.
But my daughter's been with me all of that time, and it was the best thing. You know, it was the best thing for me. It's the best thing for my daughter, and even she may or may not agree, but it really for her too.
Yeah.
You know, it's sometimes a lot of mothers get the grace and the favor.
And why do you think that is?
Prejudice.
Yeah, I'm still blown away to understand that. So that I asked every dad if they're going through something or if they've been through it. I always ask, why do you feel that?
Yeah, it's definitely prejudice. But whoever the better parent is, whoever the male or female, that's who should have the kids.
I agree.
Whoever can do the best for that child, give that child the best life. You know, it don't have to be drugs involved. It don't have to be none of that. You know, the kids need the best. So the moment that you can give them the best, then give them to somebody who can give them better than what you can give them.
I think that's a very, very, very bold and powerful statement. We, in our own family, we had to deal with something like that.
Yeah.
My mom was 16 when she had me. She was 15 when she was pregnant. 1980, I was born. 19 months later, here comes my sister. My mom could barely pay for the things I needed.
Yeah.
To bring another child, not even 2 years later, was going to be very difficult.
Yeah.
So she made a tough decision. My grandmother, my dad's mom, said, "Hey, Alicia can stay with us." My sister.
Yeah.
I didn't know any of this at the time. They had this conversation, and my grandmother and my grandfather raised
Yeah,
My
my grandmother
sister.
raised me too.
my sister because it was the best situation for her.
Yeah,
She wouldn't have had the life she had
Yeah.
had she been in our house.
yeah,
I used to be jealous of some of the things that
Yeah.
she used to get growing up. She was 16, she had a car. She was, went to private school, went to Disney World,
Yeah.
went to New Orleans, and I went to Corpus. And so it's like I see all these things I wanted, but then I also saw all those handouts
yeah.
come into play later to where
Yeah.
it's like now you're expecting that. And she had to grow to realize that that's not the way
Yeah.
you need to live. And she's a great mother of 3 kids, and she learned over time that the way to do things weren't the way that she was taught.
And a lot of times, people don't understand these types of things when it comes to raising kids.
Right.
Because we can be selfish. I want my kids. I want my kids.
I was selfish.
And sometimes you like I tell my daughter. Well, I told my daughter, when I first got in her life, like, I'm not mad at your grandmother and your mom for keeping you away. I didn't want them to, but I remember her grandmother told me, "I don't want you in and out of her life." And I'm like,
How old were you at that time?
26.
And how do you process hearing that?
When she told me I was 27, because I was only out 13 months.
Okay.
I got out 5 days before I turned 26, and then I was out 13 months. I thought she was tripping. I'm like, man, but when she's saying this, I'm basically on my way back to prison. You know what I'm saying? Like I probably had already did what that I had done to get sent back to prison.
It was already written.
Yeah. So, but you don't. Again, you're selfish. I just really wanted to, because I had already when I had when I was locked up from '02 to '05. So her mom used to write me. Let me back up a little bit. In 2001, my baby mama came back from I guess Italy. She was married to a military guy. So wherever they was at, they came to San Antonio, and they was at Randolph, and so we had made contact, and she would come see me, and in a year's time, I had seen my daughter 3 times, but she would come see me all the time. Me and her,
You
my
and
baby
your
mama,
ex.
yeah, we always had like a good connection. So she would always come see me all the time. So I would be like, hey, tell my daughter I'm her dad. And she was like, oh, she's young. She doesn't know what's going on. She's going to be upset. She's going to be confused.
How old was she at this time?
3.5.
Okay.
So then...
and she was calling the other... calling her dad.
Yeah, her stepdad, who ended up passing away years later. So then I get locked up, and my baby mama still come see me. She would come see me.
While
She
you're
would
locked
write
up?
me, yeah. So then her mom had intercepted the letters because her mom
didn't even know.
She was writing me. This is where my daughter get it from. And so her mom wrote me one day and was like, oh, talking crazy to me. So I had told her, like, when I get out, I'm going to come see my daughter.
You told the grandmother this?
Yeah, so the day I got out, April the 22nd of 2005, the next day I'm at my baby mama's house off of Grissom Road. You know, I'm over there, and
I see my daughter.
I'm over there every day for a week. I got pictures of this time. And
she's letting you?
Yeah, so, and I'm like, tell her I'm her dad. And so this is probably what scared her, because she was like, you can't come over here because she gonna be confused. So she stopped letting me come over there. So then the last time I had talked to her, which made all this time go by, was I seen her at the club one day, and I was like, what you doing here with my daughter at? You know, I really wasn't tripping, but I was really just being stupid.
Right.
And so I hadn't talked to her since then. But I would go over there, and I guess she wasn't living there no more, but like I said, her grandmother was raising her, so her grandmother was there. So the last time I had talked to her, like physically talked to her grandmother and seen her, when she told me, you know, the first time she came to the door, and she's like, you know, what are you doing here? And I was like, I'm here to see my daughter. And she was, you know, just being silly at the time, but she had told me, you know, I don't want you in and out of her life. So right before I had got locked up, which was the second time I had seen her, and the last time I seen her, I went over there like, man, I want to see my daughter. And I was like, I want her to meet my grandmother before she passed away, because my grandmother was old.
Okay.
And this is 2006. She was like, she didn't say she didn't care, but what she said was, oh, she hasn't met everybody on my side of the family, so like to her it wasn't a big deal,
Right?
And I, you know,
it just rubbed you the wrong way.
Yeah, man. I remember I threw a wad of money in her face, and I was like, y'all just care about money, and I threw the money in her face, and my brother, like when I get mad, I kind of like rock.
Okay.
Swing my arms.
Gotcha.
So
he saw you.
That. Yeah, got out the car and he came and grabbed me and pulled me away.
Before anything escalated.
Yeah, and I remember being in prison and thinking to myself, she was right. Like, I'm in prison.
And she didn't want you in and out.
Yeah.
And here you are out.
And I hadn't got sentenced yet, which was the issue.
Did you already know that it was looming?
Yeah, well, I hadn't went to court.
Okay.
So, in my mind, because there was in my mind, it was a self-defense case. And it wasn't, well, they didn't treat it as self-defense.
Sure.
So I had got prison time for it, and I got 9 years. So now, and I did 3 years on that 9-year sentence, and I was just in prison, and I would be writing to the address and not getting no responses now. And I was just
how long is this going on that you're doing this?
Probably a year, 2 maybe.
What goes through your mind? Because I was in the military. I writing letters, and getting stuff back. It's always that hard feeling of like, am I going to get correspondence? But you're not getting it. So
Yeah.
I mean, what keeps you going?
Freedom.
Knowing that on the outside there's just going to be that day.
Yeah, because in prison, you can't be too dark. You can't be in too many dark spots. You know what I'm saying? You have to, you kind of have to be focused on, you're gonna get out unless you just got a life sentence or something like that. So I gotta get out of here. I gotta do what I gotta do to get out of here. So you gotta be aware of everything that's going on. People that take advantage of you, they'll mistreat you or whatever. But just in general, that you gotta build yourself up. And again, going back to, you can't put so much of a burden on your kids by saying I'm doing this for them, I'm doing this for them, I'm doing this for them. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to. You gotta do it for yourself. You gotta, man, I gotta get up out of here, and so my mentality was I have to do better so that they can see that I'm instead of telling people what I'm gonna do, I have to show them what I'm gonna
You wanted your actions to speak.
Yeah. And they did.
Talk to you blue in the face.
Yeah, they did. So, and that's probably why I have a good relationship with the women, is because they see, I always get good Father's Day praise, just praise in general, and I can talk to these women, even if we don't agree on something. I can talk to them, and I love that about them. And my wife knows how I feel about them. And they have a good relationship with my wife. We've all been in the same spaces together, taking pictures together. I don't do drama. They ain't finna be arguing and fighting and fussing. I'm not having sex with them.
Yeah.
So, one of them's been married since my daughter, my son's mom, she's been married, and I was happy for her. I've met these guys, whatever guy they talk to, hey, what's up? I'm friendly with them. I don't want her. I had her.
There's a reason we're not together anymore.
I got the woman I want.
And how long have you been with your wife now?
15 years.
Wow.
Yeah, 15 married, 10.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't trade her for.
I mean, you can't.
$999,000.
Well, I tell you, I mean, just based off the timeline that you've told me so far, I mean, we're going into some times where she's been with you during their incarceration.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean,
we got together right before my sister passed away.
Okay.
So she's been with me through some things.
Mm-hmm.
Man, one thing about my wife is, if I told her I want to be an astronaut, she gonna look up and try to figure out how I can become an astronaut.
I love that.
Yeah, she ain't never told me I can't do something. Yeah, so yeah, I wouldn't trade her for the world.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, my wife's the same way. Before we even met, I told her about the podcast because I met on Facebook dating. No shame there.
Yeah.
We're married now. We've been together.
I inboxed my wife.
3 years.
It wasn't no Facebook day when I met her. I was just like, hey, what's up?
But the fact that this woman, she's single, no children, only child.
You got lucky.
But you would not. Yeah, I did. I am lucky. And you would not think that was her background, knowing how good she is with my 2 children.
Yeah.
I mean, she's bonus mom. We don't do stepmom in our house. She's bonus mom. That's bonus children. All this stuff, and just she integrated so well. And I wouldn't trade her for anything. It's beautiful to see that dynamic of what they have in such a little time.
And that's important. When they naturally connect with the kids and want to be a part of their life, and you don't feel like you forcing anything, that's, man, you can't. That's wonderful right there. You got to keep her.
Yep. No, for sure. So my wife's name is Olive, and my ex-wife is Anita, and Ryder, my son, I just had a conversation with Olive this past time when we were dropping them off. He's 7. He tells Olive, he goes, man, I got to stop calling. He goes, I got to stop calling Mom Olive because I'm over there, and I keep on saying, Mom. And I know it's probably not right, so I should maybe watch what I'm doing about that. But he's 7 and realizing that, man, it's just it's really incredible.
Yeah, they gotta, and that's another thing. Like let them grow on their own to get there to be like, Dad. My bonus son Jacoby, he's 25.
Yeah.
And I didn't think he liked me. I didn't think that it was no signs that we
at the beginning.
Period. We just didn't connect well. At least I thought. And a couple of years ago, we picked up my other son's car to drop it off, and I'm taking him home, and he's like, "Man, you know why I ain't never got in no trouble or anything else like that?" He's like, "Because all the talks you had with me and the things you showed me, and that made me feel good because I
Yeah.
never thought he was listening."
Right.
You know, and you know, it's like everybody has a unique way of building their relationships
Sure.
or connecting, right? And sometimes we try to force ourselves
Yeah.
onto these kids or whoever. Yeah, you gonna call me dad? I ain't never tried to make them call me daddy. You know what I'm saying? They can, if they call me Alvin, I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? But I've been a part of their life for 15 years, so I know what it is. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to try to force you gonna call me this. So the fact that he naturally said that, like, and he said it multiple times since then, that made me feel good. Jamarcus, he's 19. From the outside, it may seem like we haven't always gotten along because I've probably been harder on him than anybody else. But I love him, and want the best for him. And so when I have conversations with him, I let him know, like, I love you, because I don't ever want my kids to go through life or something happen and they not know that.
Right.
So I let them know that I love them. So even if they are mad at me or something, it's never like, I don't know if he loves me or not. No, I'm
They
telling
know.
you that I love you and I want the best. And I'm gonna always go hard for them, but I ain't never tried to force no relationship or anything else like that. And same thing with my kids with my wife. You know what I'm saying? Like I just let it grow organically.
What do you think that you were harder on him than the other ones?
Oh, because he don't listen. It's as simple as that. He don't listen. But I also feel like they babied him a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm parenting styles are different.
Sure.
And I'm definitely my grandfather's grandson. You know what I'm saying? My grandfather was like a father to me. So I have an old school way of raising kids
Sure.
and whatever. I believe in whooping ass
Mm-hmm.
and all that. And I ain't. They probably can't even remember the last time they got a whooping or whatever.
Right.
But I'm just stern and firm and whatever the case may be. And it's always gonna be that one that he not even a bad kid. He just listens less than everybody else.
I like how you said that. He just listens less.
Yeah, be a good kid though.
Yeah. The age dynamics you have with your children, it's beautiful to see that, no matter what you're involved. I really, really love that because you lost custody. Some dads, they get that sign of freedom or whatever the case may be, and they're done. Like, well, I can wash my hands of this responsibility. But the fact that through all of that, you know the days. I think that's very admirable. Dates when you've seen them, dates of these milestones. Those are going to be ingrained in their memory too, because I know that you talk about them, these specific dates and these times, these events, and they know them as well. For the fact that you know them about all of them, it just says a lot about you.
Yeah, I have a good memory too. But it means something to me. I can look at pictures and I can tell you what was going on. And man, like I thought. First of all, I always thought I was gonna be a cool dad. Can we cuss? I think I've probably been cussing, but I always thought I was gonna be having sex.
Yeah.
I always thought I was gonna be having sex with the teachers and the moms.
That's what you thought, being a dad so young.
Especially when I was a single dad.
Sure.
I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be having sex with the teachers and the moms. And my son Ashton, when he was in third grade, man, this is the one I didn't find out till he was 8 years old.
8 years old, right?
He gave me a hard time when he was young. And so the first time I whooped him, they had come to the school 3 times. So it was like the week hadn't even ended. And it was my 3rd time going up there.
And how old was he? What grade?
He was in 3rd grade.
Okay.
And this is when I first just got in his life. And so I go up there and she was like, oh, he's been hitting on the kids. And I'm hey, man, talking to him, trying to give him the tough dad talk. And he's all leaning all up against the thing. And I'm, hey, straighten up. And I was like, go in there and apologize to them kids. And he didn't move. So when I, grabbed him to push him, he, jerked away from me. I said, I'm gonna whoop your ass.
You told me right there.
Yeah, I said, I'm gonna take you in front of these kids and whoop your ass. And the teacher's like, you can't whoop him in front of the kids. You got to take him next door.
Wow.
So I took him next door. Now, prior to this, I had whooped him once. But, like, you know, just pat, 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 pat.
Right.
So he goes there. He just think it's going to be something simple. So he, like, you know, it was kind of like spats.
Yeah.
I like, turn around. He turned around. I was like, nah, pull your pants down. So he looked at me, pull your pants down. And I was like, nah, put your drawers down too.
Yeah.
I want to see some skin. I told his ass up. And I had inserted my dominance.
And what was his response to that?
I don't think I had to whip his ass since.
That was it.
I think that might have been the last one, but I gave him. I can't remember because he's not really a bad kid.
Sure.
He a quiet kid, but he not a kid no more. But yeah, he my little quiet giant.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then he was like me, man. He was mischievous. He'd get in a little trouble at school, and but he like saying, man, my kids are all have these different personalities. And which is another thing, you can't raise them all the same.
You cannot.
He's like this and she's like this. Okay, I got to talk to him like this.
Right.
This is what they respond to, and things of that nature. So, like he used to never tell me he loved me. Like my wife tells me one day, she says, "Do you know Asher don't call you daddy or father?" And I was like, I never really paid attention. And so she said she had asked him about it, and he was like, you know, kids, oh, that's gay, calling a man daddy.
How old was he?
I think he was like a teenager at the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so I remember him. I texted him. I was like, "I love you."
He texted you, or
yeah,
you texted him?
I texted him. I love you too. Like now he'll say it like
wow,
it's nothing.
Okay, yeah.
Or we talk to his brother and he'd be like, "Oh, you know, Daddy said such."
So he's using it.
Yeah, so I listened to it. You know, I paid attention that he even said it.
Especially if you hear that conversation from her.
Yeah.
And now you hear it, you're like, okay.
Yeah, so you know, they not gonna always come out and be like, hey, you know, just you gotta catch it.
Right.
You know. So yeah, man, I have some you know, I mean they my kids, so of course they're amazing. But to be a father, I tell every man, do what you gotta do to be in your kid's life. I don't care. I understand women can put us through some stuff, but you keep on trying, you know what I'm saying? And don't give up. The moment you give up, man, you know, you done lost. So you can't give up. You got to keep on trying. If you got to write a letter. Keep on sending a letter. They gonna get them eventually. They gonna read them eventually. But at least you know you did it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And then they'll have something to reference back to, especially if they have any type of thoughts about who you are or how they feel about you at a certain time. You know, they get over it, and then they can go back to that letter, and they can always reference it to put.
Yeah.
Hey, no matter what I was going through, my dad cared.
I think because I'm a hoarder, not a hoarder, but I keep things. I have all these keepsakes. So when I got back in my daughter's life, and I'm like, she's like, oh, they saying this, and I'm like, me and your mama was friends. She wrote me when I was in prison, so I had these letters that her mama wrote me, you know, saying how much of a good guy I was, and if I was free, she knew I would do X, Y, and Z. So it was I can't think of the word that I'm looking for, but it was I don't know why those words slip in my mind, but it didn't line up with what they were saying about me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So,
It wasn't lining up.
Yeah. So I had again this proof like this is your mama's handwriting. This is her
reaching out to me.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Saying all these things. These are pictures of me and you. So it's not like I've never been around, you know, but I understand why they feel the way that they feel and why they did what they did. And it was probably the best thing. Even with my son's mom, we wouldn't have got along. In that time, we had grown up a lot. So in those 8 years, we had grown up a lot. But if I would have been in his life from day one, we wouldn't be what we had today. Because we would have been arguing, immature, you know. Mm-hmm. So even
and
though
he probably would have been worse off.
Yeah, it sucks.
Seeing that.
Yeah, it sucks that that's how everything was going on like that. There was 8 years. went
Looking
by.
back, right?
But maybe that was God's plan.
Sure.
For like, I need you to mature to be the person that you need to be for this little boy. My son recently, a couple months ago, he was calling my phone, and I was at it was like really like last month, I think.
And which son?
Ashton.
Okay.
My oldest son, which is the one I came into like when he was 8.
Sure.
So it's Jade, who's my oldest daughter,
Right.
Ashton, Tyree, Joy, and Angie. He had called me. He had FaceTimed me, and he rarely calls me or FaceTime. He always texts me.
So then you think it's important to immediately
So
answer.
when I see it, because I was hosting a birthday party, so I knew it's important, right? So let me call him, and he was like, "I need to talk to you." So I said, "Well, I'm at this event. You know what I'm saying? I'll call you." So he was like, "Okay." So I called him. And I was like, "What's up, son?" And he was like, "Oh, I was at the gas station. This guy was, blocking me and wouldn't move and was giving me a hard time." And I believe, I'm not sure, but I believe he called us some racial names or whatever. And my son was like, I needed to talk to you because I wanted to do something to him, and I wanted you to calm me down or whatever. But I ended up getting out of the situation and being able to go home. But he was like, I really wanted to hurt this guy, and that made me feel good that he even thought like
to reach out to you to help stop that.
Yeah, because my kids know, man. I don't ever want to get that phone call. I want to get that knock on the door or none of that type of stuff. So I always have these conversations with them about what they can do. I've shown them videos, documentaries, so many things. I remember I took my kids to a funeral of a kid who had died that was around their age, so they could see, hey, this could happen to you,
Well, how did they feel about you taking to that?
I don't know how they felt. I was crying, though.
You were crying.
Yeah, I was at the funeral crying like it was my child. But I guess because they good kids and they haven't really got involved in none of that, they took it in. And again, you never know how they take things until they either tell you or you just see how they life.
Sure.
Like, okay, if I never show them this, because this is the thing about life, right? A lot of times we thinking that our lives are so much different than somebody else's,
Right?
That they don't know what's going on, they don't understand, and then sometimes somebody's life is so different that they don't understand. They don't see the same things you see and everything else. There's people who literally grew up in the same neighborhoods as me and had 2 different experiences.
Absolutely.
You
Night
know
and
what I'm
day.
saying? Yeah.
Never been to jail.
So when sometimes you have to show people like, hey, this is a real thing. Just because it hasn't happened to you, just because you're not around certain things doesn't mean that it can't happen, because we've seen time and time again, an innocent bystander get shot.
Sure.
Or somebody on the way home from work and have a car accident. Me and my wife went on a hot air balloon ride. My wife, when I met her, she's like, I want to go on a hot air balloon ride. And I was like, I'm not doing that, man. So, but when I proposed to her, that was my gift to her, was the hot air balloon ride. So this company, if it's windy, they won't fly.
Of course.
So I was supposed to do it on her birthday, and because it was windy that day, they didn't fly. So we went maybe like a week later, something like that. Great experience.
I've never done that.
Great, man. Listen, amazing. I love the sky. I've been skydiving, helicopter rides, and all that since then. That same company, probably 2 months later, went up, hit a power line. Everybody, all 15 people inside the basket died. It was like the biggest in the history, or at least like United States, right? Well, 2 of the people on there was like, one was newlyweds, and then another was like their anniversary. But they had been trying to go on multiple trips.
And that was the one they finally got on.
And then when they finally got a chance to go, that happened, right? And even though I'll probably never get in a hot air balloon because of that, I'm sorry, it's not funny, but I'm glad I got that experience. I'm glad that, and I'm listen, man. I hate that even happened to them people, but I'm definitely glad it wasn't us.
Right. Oh, of course.
Yeah, man, I can't even imagine.
I mean, you wouldn't be able to, and that's the thing about it.
Yeah, and because you don't wake up thinking bad things gonna happen. You don't wake up thinking you're gonna get certain phone calls.
This is gonna be the last time that I ever have this conversation.
Especially when it's sudden and tragic. It's one thing when people are old,
or they're going through sicknesses that they already have an expiration date.
Yeah. But just hey, you remember such. Yeah, man. They, I had a friend. I used to never go to funerals. Hated funerals. I do not like being sad. And there was a guy I was locked up with. We call him New York. He's from New York, but his name was Donnell. And really good friend of mine. We were supposed to meet on Sunday, I believe. His girl calls me and says, "Hey, have you talked to D?" She said, "Have you talked to D's people?" And I says, "We were supposed to do a drug deal, to be honest with you." She said, "Have you talked to D's people?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, "No, I was supposed to hear from them, but I haven't heard from nobody yet." And she's like, "Well, D passed away." And I was like, "What?" And she was like, "Yeah, he fell asleep at the wheel." So I went to his funeral, right? And his mom gets up and she tells this story. And she says that her house phone was ringing. And nobody, cell phone. So nobody really never calls the house phone. But a house phone was ringing. So she finally answers it. And she's like, hello, because nobody was saying nothing. But she could hear like noise in the background. So he had picked up and he was like, hello? And she was like, you called me? He was like, no, I didn't. And she was like, yeah, you did. You called me. He was like, no, I didn't. My phone is like on 2% or something like that. So she was like, oh, okay, well, you called my phone. So he was like, okay, well, I'm almost home. I'll talk to you later. And hung up the phone.
And that was it.
And literally minutes later, he passed away. Like he got to this car wreck. He fell asleep at the wheel. I'm tears. I'm snot.
I can't even imagine, yeah.
But the thing about it was she wasn't even sad when she was telling the story. She was like, she felt like that was God giving her one last chance to talk to him. And I think it was like 8 minutes. Like, the minutes. It was 3 to 8 minutes that he had ended up falling asleep and dying at the wheel. But it was a happy funeral. It wasn't even like a sad funeral. It was, sad because somebody had died. Of course. But like when she got up there and spoke and she told the story, it just really kind of made me feel good. And I'm friends with these people.
I mean, that's what a funeral is supposed to be. It's a celebration of that person's life, right? It's supposed to be joyful and sharing these moments that you had and having a mom come up and telling this heartfelt story about her son. But
the point going back is, you never know. Like, you can be talking to somebody one day, and my kids know this. Every 4th of July, every New Year's, I tell my son, hey, if you need me, you call me. If I don't pick up, you keep calling my phone. Because I know people are out there shooting on these holidays. Everybody got their guns. I tell my kids how to, when they go to parties, you see something look right, get up, move around. Don't run to no fights. Don't be a part of no BS. Whatever. My daughter, she's a sophomore in high school now. I gotta, give it a talk. Be careful with these girls, these boys. People not gonna like you because of these reasons. They'll try to jump on you. Whatever the case may be. I want my kids to come home.
I love that you have that open line of communication with them. Yeah. I think that's so important. So many parents and dads in general, they get caught up in this, like, I need to have my children do what I say no matter what. But they don't really have that open line of communication.
The kids ain't gonna do everything you say.
Yeah, exactly.
They go listen to me. They definitely gonna find a way to, because that's just a part of life. People think they can get away with stuff, right? So, especially these days, we just a year apart. we knew how life was for us, right? We didn't have all the technology and all these things.
Social media.
So listen to me. I think about things that I did back then without social media. Man, if I had social media back then, I'd have 1,000 kids. But
Well, yeah, I mean, I'd be locked up.
yeah,
if there was social
listen,
media.
my life would be totally different if I
Sure.
had social media back then, right? So these kids may not have the survival skills that we had, but they know more. They have more information.
I'd feel it too.
It's easy to be sneakier, or they try to be sneakier. And because of the type of person I was growing up, it's hard for them to get anything over on me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, same.
Here's the little boy trying to have sex with my daughter. And I told her, hey, so
How old is she?
15.
Okay.
And he calls me, he texts me one day, hey,
The boy.
yeah, can she come to my house and we go to the mall, and then I drop her back off, and I said, no, I'll pick her up and I'll drop her off. And he was like, never mind. So I was like, oh, yeah, he ain't smart. He don't know how to play the game. You know what I'm saying?
He ain't figured it out yet.
So a week later, he was supposed to come over, and he didn't. And I was like, is he coming over? My daughter was like, no. So then she came out, Daddy, you was right. And he told her, don't let your parents stop you from having an experience because of mistakes that they made.
That's smooth talking, little boy.
Yeah, he ain't that smooth, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't had enough conversations with my daughter.
Well, I mean, it goes back to the communication.
Yeah.
Just imagine had you not had those conversations with her.
Yeah, her daddy ain't lame, so she's not lame.
Sure.
Now, I tell her, like, your time is gonna come, but it don't need to come today.
Yeah.
And it sucks. One, it sucks being the type of person that I used to be, because I know so many things. So my daughter has bloomed. I'll use that word. You know what I'm saying? She's sprouted out physically, right? So you know, she got eyes on her. You know what I'm saying? So, and this is why I have to have these constant talks with her. Like, hey, I told my kids a long time ago, hey, don't let nobody touch you. If somebody does, tell your mom, tell your grandmother.
Same
if you don't feel safe talking to me, these are the people that you talk to, but nobody is supposed to do X, Y, and Z or yada, 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 yada. Don't be afraid. Don't let nobody scare you into, I'm going to harm you, I'm going to do, tell whatever the case may be, because that's my fear, is that they're afraid to tell me something.
Right.
And I've always told my kids, if you can't tell me about it, then you shouldn't be doing it.
And I love that how you say that also, that you have you're giving off the support team, right? You're not only saying that, like, you can only talk to me. I'm your dad. You can tell me everything. You're telling them, if you can't talk to me, you can talk to this person, this person. Know that your voice matters. And I think that's important too, because when they feel that their voice doesn't matter, that's when they get weak.
Yeah.
And people can take advantage of them.
And I don't like, my daughter come home from school and she'll say, Daddy, the teacher, yada, yada, yada. Did you talk to the principal? Like, the chain of command. You know what I'm saying? I don't just try to go to the school and throw my weight around.
Sure.
Hey, no, because they can be wrong.
Absolutely.
So I always ask questions. What did you do? How did did you say something? Hey, if I get a text from the school or teacher, hey, your teacher texts me, you either say you missed an assignment or, whatever it is. I don't just let my kids just be a failure. I don't pacify them. I don't baby them. Like, I'll be talking to my kids about something. All my kids done the same thing. I'll be having a random conversation with them, and they be like, Daddy, I didn't even do nothing. I'm like, I ain't talking to you because you did something wrong. I'm your father, and it's my job to let you know, so you actually know that these things are happening. It can happen, and when you are faced with those problems, you won't say I didn't know. At least you could be like, oh, my daddy told me about this. And even if you don't make the right decision, you was able to decide, to try to figure out a choice.
They had the information because you had that conversation with them. Yeah.
So, sometimes they don't like me just having random conversations with them about hard things, because in their eyes, it's like, oh, they think they think that I think they did something wrong. But I'm like, no, if I see something on the news, like, I just seen recently there was like a Benadryl challenge.
Oh my
where these young
God!
kids
These stupid
yeah, you know what I'm
challenges, man.
saying? And these kids are trying to hallucinate. So when I see stuff like that, I have
You bring it
conversations
to
with them.
attention
Yeah.
right away.
Hey, because even though I'm pretty much on top of most things, they have friends.
Exactly. I think that you said it right there, because you're informing them, right? Just because you're not telling them, even though you're not, they're not going to do the damn Benadryl challenge, but they have friends who might not. They might not have parents who have given them that same conversation.
Yeah.
But for you to have it, now they're spreading that.
Yeah, and I tell them that I say, look, I don't know how these other parents are, how they let their kids live their life. Every kid know that if you're in my house, I'm gonna treat you like mine. So she had this one friend who was riding with us, and every time I would drop off at home, hey, where your parents at? Oh, they're not here. Okay. Hey, where your parents at? Oh, they're not here. Oh, my mom here, but she sleeps. So I hadn't met her mom yet. So I told my daughter she can't come over here no more. And I said, I need to meet her mom because she's coming to my house. She's riding in my car. She's never alone.
Sure. But you want to have that respect.
Yeah, I need your parents need to know who your daughter's with.
Sure.
What if I'm a creep?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think she wanted to come over, and I was like, her mom had texted me. Okay, and I finally did meet her. And I told her the exact same thing I'm telling you. Like, I didn't want to come over here until I talked to you. I said, because I'm going to treat her like I treat my daughter. If I feed mine, I'm going to feed yours. If I feel some type of way about something, I'm going to let her know.
And what was that parent's reaction?
Oh, she was cool.
Yeah.
She was cool. And that's, to be honest with you, even though it depends on the type of, discipline or whatever conversation you have with your kids, you should be that way. If somebody's kid coming to your house, you don't know what type of kid that is, you know what I'm saying? But just because it's not your kid don't mean, you just like, oh.
Just let them run and do whatever.
Yeah, nah, because they could be up there snorting lines.
Or teaching your kids bad habits.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So if you're not on top of that, my daughter come talk to me about her friends all the time. Daddy, she'll vent, and I have to, hey, like these, you might not meet your actual friends for a while because I'm like, you just got in high school, everybody's trying to find themselves. So, what you might like this year, you might not like next year,
True.
And she's like me where she has like a lot of different friends. So she has this friend group, this friend over here.
The same way.
Yeah, this friend over here. And they don't all hang with each other.
They don't. And some of them aren't even enemies.
Yeah, so, they don't always, same thing, they don't always like each other. But I tell her, don't be messy. Don't be telling nobody the business.
Right.
If somebody's talking about somebody, just listen. Don't, say anything because somebody will go back and say, you said something. But I'm always cautious about the people who come around. One girl came over. My son had this one friend, and she came over. She had the little bitty shorts on. So I go get my basketball.
How old are they?
She was 16 at the time. I go get my basketball shorts, and I say, hey, put these on. And I said, don't go to nobody's house dressed like that.
And this is your daughter's friend?
No, this is my son's.
Your son.
Friend.
Oh, your son's friend.
Yeah. He was 16 at the time.
Yeah.
And I was like, don't go to nobody's house dressed like that.
And what did she say?
She was receptive to it. And but I had already had conversations with her and her mom because she was a foster kid. And so that day I took some clothes over there to give them. And when I walk up to the door, her foster mom was like, I guess she had ran away or whatever. So when she seen me, she was like, oh, I seen her down there by your house. And I was like, I lied. I was like, she wasn't over there. I don't know, where she was at. I was like, I just came to bring these clothes. So I dropped off the clothes and I left. I said, hey, she can't come over here no more. Because I felt like she could possibly be a problem. Sometimes you have to recognize those kids that could give you some type of problem. And she might not be that type of kid, but I have been dealing with this young lady, and her mom for a while. So I'd had conversations with them and whatever. And I knew that she lied about certain things, right? So those lies could translate to another type of lie.
And when you're telling your children that so and so friend can't come over here no more, and this is why, and what is their
He
reaction?
didn't care.
He didn't care.
No, because first thing I said was like, "You have sex with this girl?" He was like, "No," and I was like, "Are you sure?" He was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Okay." So, because he didn't even want to see her the day that she came over and I gave her the shorts, she was downstairs for like an hour. He wouldn't come downstairs, and I'm like, "Hey, come down here. I don't want to be." I tell my kids, I don't want to be in the middle, man.
It's not a situation that you need to be in.
If you got something to say, if you don't want him over here, come tell him that you don't want him over here. So he didn't care that I wanted her over there, not because he didn't really want her over there. But again, she's older now. He's 19, so she got to be at least 19. And I haven't seen her since then. So I pray that she's okay in life. But I felt like she could be one of those people that would possibly lie on somebody.
And you recognize,
you know what I'm saying? Because I just feel like if you're doing the stuff that you already doing, and
at this early of an age,
if you and man, again, you just have to recognize certain things. Sometimes as a parent, right, you have to be careful, especially as a man, right, dealing with young ladies, right.
Of course.
So, me saying something to her about her shorts, somebody might find an issue with that,
right?
Like, why do you care about what she wear? Why are you sexualizing her? When I'm not sexualizing her, but I'm not stupid.
You're avoiding it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I know that, again, you're drawing attention to yourself, and people are looking, right? So I got boys, you know what I'm saying?
And you're a man too.
Yeah,
it's just like you're going to be put in a situation where somebody lies on you. You're not going to have it.
If this young lady is coming to my house, she's in and out of my house, all it takes is for somebody to say, I seen her leaving there.
That's
right?
it.
And I never seen her leaving there with a boy her age, you know what I'm saying?
And who's there?
Yeah, who's there? You know what I'm saying? I see the daddy come to the door, her come and leave, whatever. I listen, I have to formulate all these examples in my head of what could happen. So to avoid even getting to that point, it's like you have to be prepared for these situations and how to deal with them. You don't have to be aggressive.
Right.
You just got to know how to avoid these situations. And that's how you maneuver through life, right? Because especially if you have daughters, they're going to have friends, they're going to have sleepovers, and their moms might not be comfortable, especially if, just say you're a single dad.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And, oh, yeah, you might be the best father in the world.
All it
but
takes.
That parent don't know you.
Exactly.
Why you want these little girls to come spend the night at your house? And these little girls might not be 8, 9, 10-year-olds. They might be 17, 18, 19-year-olds.
Looking like 21, 22, 23.
But somebody is saying, why do you want these girls to come spend the night at your house? Right. And so now questions are being raised about you. I looked into his background, or whatever they start coming up with. My niece, and I got this from my niece. My niece stayed with me when she was 18, and she gave me the first experience of raising a teenager. Even though she wasn't my daughter, she would have her friends come over, and they would be telling their moms, "Hey, we going to Tanisha's house," but they really coming to my house. They coming to my house because she lives with me. But they meeting boys. They having boys come over there to pick them up. And so they would be staying. Man, they'll be over there for like a week. So I tell my niece, hey, they can't be here longer than 3 days. And if they come over here, they have to stay here. There's no leaving and coming back 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Right. That's what they were doing. And my niece would be waiting up, or she'll go open the door for them. And I'm sleeping. I hear the door open and close. And so... my niece didn't. She thought that meant sit on the couch in the living room and wait for them to come home. No,
wow.
No, if something happened, their parents are going to think they're with me.
They're automatically going to think that because that's what they were told.
Yeah, and then I'm not running the whole house.
And then who's responsible?
So if you come to meet boys, you do that on your own time. You know what I'm saying? And then. Me being who I am, I was selling drugs at the time too. So it would have been easy to bring trouble to my house with all these girls in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. And they coming to see boys. And I pull up, they sitting outside and sitting in boys' laps and stuff like that. And I don't want people to think that this is something that I support.
Right.
So it was like I had to, with her, she forced me to stop being her uncle and treat her like my child and put my foot down. And
You had to.
I didn't want to do that. And she didn't understand. And I recently apologized to her. I was like, look, I was trying to be something to you that I didn't even know how to be. I wasn't your father, but I was.
You were put in that situation.
Yeah, I was doing the best that I could, and it was hard for me to explain to her, my line of thinking at that time. But again, I didn't have no teenagers, and when she came into my household, this is my first time. I'm 30 something, and this is my oldest brother's daughter, and she's 18 years old. And she got, I'm trying to be the cool uncle, letting her have her friends come over. And then when I started noticing all these things going on, I'm like, hold up.
This ain't finna fly.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I got different boys over here. Everybody know where I live at, in and out, in and out, in and out. Hey, I don't want no boys spending the night, none of that type of stuff. Because, when kids get a certain age, they like, I'm grown.
Yeah, they do.
And it's like, you're not grown. You know what I'm saying? But when you're not in that space to be a parent, then you allow things, right? So then you ignore certain signs and stuff like that. But once you get in that parent mode, then you start paying attention to little stuff, right? You notice when your daughter starts changing her appearance.
Right.
When she starts caring about how she looks more, wearing makeup and, wanting the chest to be out and, all that. You like, hey, what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
You start paying attention to your sons and how they react, how they with their friends, what they doing, the smells when they come in the house. You like, hey, that don't smell like outside. That smells like weed. You know what I'm saying? You gotta, once if you really in parent mode, you recognize those things, right? You start paying attention, and even though some things haven't happened yet, you still have to run those scenarios through your head so you know how to deal with them. You know what I'm saying? When you are faced with these problems, like, okay, how do I deal with this?
Right.
What do I do in this instance? How do I talk to this person and whatever the case may be? Because one, I don't want to get in trouble, but I also don't want to have to deal with this kid who may be trouble.
And these are all choices. I mean, you made the choice to be that for your niece.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't have to. You could have been, like you said, the cool uncle and just let everything slide and let everything slide. But what you've been through and all the situations that you've been, you were like, this is not happening.
No. Yeah, it's just, all these situations, especially with having different kids, because I've had a big part in raising a lot of different kids outside of my own.
Right.
So all that has helped me and shaped me to become the person that I am today. And I've mentored a lot of kids. I've had a mentor. I've mentored boys, but if somebody asked me, "Hey, can you mentor my son?" I've mentored singly young men, and most of them have gone on to do well, and which makes me feel good. And I just care about people in general, but kids. I like to see them go on to do great things. And I have a lot of friends, obviously, with kids, so I've always been a part of these kids' lives. And it's important. It's important because they going to call, hey, what should I do about this? How should I handle this? What advice do you have? And I found myself giving a lot of advice, talking to people, trying to help people out. Because it's nothing easy.
Mm-mm.
I don't care who makes it. I love the Cosby Show, but life is not like the Cosby Show.
Nope.
So, and even though they show, relatively real life situations, the dynamic of that family, having a doctor for a dad and a lawyer for a mom, who has that?
Right.
I don't know nobody like that. So the majority of the people I know aren't in that situation. They might be dealing with things financially, or they might have 5 kids, and out of those 5 kids, one of them might be leaning towards the streets. So you have to deal with these situations as they come. but you have to be prepared to deal with those situations. And when I say prepared, I don't mean like you have all the tools to fix the situation, but you can't like, I don't know what to do.
Right.
You have to, okay, what's the problem?
Try.
Yeah. How do I fix this problem? What are my options to fix this problem? How do I handle this? Because one thing I don't do, I've never embarrassed my kids. There is not one video that I posted online. This is my.
I think that's so rude.
That the internet's forever.
It is.
The internet's forever. So if you get online and you tell somebody, "Oh, my daughter's a hoe and she was sneaking boys in," she gonna remember that, and other people gonna remember that. You know what I'm saying? And then, really, you're just setting up for predators.
Oh, you are.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. If your son does something stupid, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you
make excuses.
Yeah, you call yourself punishing him in front of the world. You probably pushing him further and further away from you.
Absolutely.
So it's like I know that social media is the way that people, use, is a tool, I guess, but it's not a tool that I use.
Not in a parenting way.
Yeah, I'm not trying to parent my kids on it. They might go through something that the social media might never hear about. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now I will tell stories, but I'm not gonna tell the most embarrassing stories. I'm not gonna tell the things that is going to, harm them the most or show them in any negative light to try to hurt them, to try to prove some point, or even try to teach them a lesson. I feel like I've been doing this long enough I can have a conversation with them, talk to them, and they understand, and if they don't, I'm just gonna keep on talking.
How would dads get involved to do something like where you've mentored other children or other dads? How can dads that want to be able to do that, how would they get involved in something like that?
With me or just in
general?
Start. If we complicate things, we think of a million ways that something could either fail or we just put too much thought into it, right? Let's say you say, man, I live in this cul-de-sac and I see these kids outside playing basketball every day. They might not need a mentor, but hey, who y'all parents? Where y'all live at? Let me talk to y'all parents right quick. Hey, my name is, what's your name?
Tony.
Tony. It's Tony Garcia.
Good.
Tony Garcia, right?
Yes, sir.
My name is Tony. Yeah, man, I got this podcast, man. I'm always talking about parenting and stuff like that. But I would love to talk to kids. Kind of show them how to do this, mentor them on podcasts and things of that nature. And, maybe we can get together and have some of the dads come and talk about X, Y, and Z. You don't have to complicate it. Just find out what works for you. So if it's basketball, if it's football, if it's fixing on a car, hey, man, I want to get a group of kids in the neighborhood to teach them how to fix cars. I know some other guys who fix on cars, and we can teach them how to do these things or whatever. Whatever's within your wheelhouse, it don't have to be like the boys club. It don't have to be like the Big Brother program. It don't have to be like anything. Whatever you can do within your space, and I want to talk to them about this. I want to talk. Everybody ain't gonna listen.
Right.
Them kids might not care about nothing that you talk about.
Sure.
But at least you tried.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? At least you tried. And then you decide if you want it to be once a week, once a month, every day, every other day, whatever time that you have. But if you start, you've already succeeded. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't start and you talking about it, yeah, man, I want to do this, and then a year go by, 3 years go by, 6 years go by, and you still talking about doing it, the material getting dust on it and everything else, because these kids are smart and they want to learn some of this stuff. And if it's 10 of them, maybe 4 to 6 of them might actually be interested in it.
Right.
It seemed like a low number, but that's a good number. You didn't save some lives. My son Jacoby, when I first came home from prison, he had this group of friends, and my wife had told me, like, oh, that was a good kid, but he started getting, and I didn't know that little boy. And one day I seen him, I was like, hey, man, I need to talk to you. When you get a chance, come by my house. So he finally came by my house. And I had never met his parents, didn't know him from Adam. Hey, my wife told me some good things about you, told me you're a leader, but you started getting in trouble. Hey, you got kids that are following you. Lead them into a good light. You know what I'm saying? And he sat there and listened.
How old was he?
14, 15 years old. He still ended up getting in trouble.
He did.
But I wouldn't be doing right by him if I didn't have that conversation with him. And even we had seen him on the news.
Wow.
Listen to me.
After the fact?
Yeah, after the fact. Like probably a year or two later. Remember I worked at this gas station. He came in there, and I pulled him to the side. Hey, man, what's up? Hey, man, I seen something. Oh, that wasn't me. Okay.
That was it.
But, hey, be careful. Be careful. Like, as fathers, as men, sometimes you got to say what needs to be said. Don't even worry about if they receive the information.
Just put it out there.
Just put it out there. You know what I'm saying? Because not saying nothing is more detrimental than saying something and them not listening. You know what I'm saying?
I love that.
But it just, because, oh, man, they ain't going to listen anyway. You never know, man. You never know who life you may save with just a little bit of information, just a little bit of word, or just something you may teach somebody. So real quick, I worked at that gas station for 5.5 years, and I was like the second to the oldest person that worked there. I was working there with people older to be my kid, and they would drive me crazy. So I ended up getting a job at a church, and then I was the youngest person working there. Well, at the time, I was the second youngest person when I started. Then old boy got fired. So everybody is basically older to be my father or my big brother at least. But one particular person, Mr. Nate, who is probably in his late 80s right now, was like a father figure to all of us. And most of the things that I know right now is because of him. How to fix stuff and all that. A very patient man. And me getting that job helped me tremendously. Working around these older men, talking to them about, just even listening to them. I wasn't even, most of them I just listening. They talk about, he been married about 50 years to his wife. He been with his wife 50 years. He's a good man, a good Christian man. Anthony been married to his wife for a long time. Marcus is a good guy. All these guys is good guys. And they've had a lot of experiences in life, whether it's military or college or just great jobs, whatever. So it came from me being the oldest, working with these young kids, and them drive me crazy, to me being basically the youngest, working with these older men. And then I'm like listening. So I'm at an older age now. So at one point in time, I was these young kids.
Sure.
But now I'm at an age where I know to be quiet and listen and pay attention to what's going on. So I learned a lot from these guys. And it helped me become a better man, helped me become a better husband. And just in general, I learned a lot of manual skills, physical skills and things of that nature, things I use now for the business that I have. And if that never happens, I don't know because they could have just ignored me.
Sure.
They could have just came to work every day.
And not cared about what you had going on and just under the rug. Yeah,
and so it's a no matter who you are, it's a good feeling when somebody cares about you, right? When they take the time out. Hey, man, Tony, let me talk to you right quick. Yeah, man, you're doing a good job with your podcast, man. And you might be struggling with your podcast.
Sure.
But, hey, man, you did a show the other day with that young man. What's his name? The comedian guy. Doing the Bugs Bunny teeth. That's what they just call me in prison, Bugs Bunny. Yeah, man, he said some good stuff. You don't know who's listening. You don't know who's paying attention, right? And they may hear something, even old, young, that might be like, man, you know what? I needed to hear that.
And I'm glad you said that, because when I came up with this podcast and when I was thinking about how to put something positive into the world, I was, going down this rabbit hole of content and who I wanted my target audience to be and how can I help anybody. Yeah. And it came to me that fatherhood is something that I feel strongly about and something that I want to be able to help other dads out there. So
Yeah.
when I created this, my whole goal was that there be a dad out there listen to one of these stories and have him be going through something similar and take something and help him be a better dad than he was before he heard that
Yeah.
story. So I'll leave that with this, Alvin. You know, somebody that has gone through the years of incarceration that you have went through and never gave up on your family, never gave up on your children. What advice would you give to, you know, somebody out there that's a dad? Let's say he just got out of prison, had all these dark years of internal thoughts of not knowing anything positive. What advice would you give to that dad that now has to figure it out and be the dad he needs to be?
One, don't give up. And what I mean by that is this: is that if you have kids and you're not in their life, do whatever you gotta do to get in. Like, don't just be like, I'm washing my hand with that situation. This woman won't let me see my kids. You know, find you a good woman. That's important. A good supportive woman. You know, somebody that listens to you and cares about what you dream and aspire to be. You know, and that can give you some guidance and direction. Because without my wife, I don't know a lot of stuff that I know because I'm from the streets. So I'm doing everything the street way.
Sure.
But she came and she's like, you know, you can do it this way. And I'm like, oh, okay.
I
You
didn't
know what I'm
even
saying?
know.
Yeah, I didn't even know that. You know, never had a credit card and none of that type of stuff until I got with my wife. And it depends on your situation. You have to keep on trying. But when it comes to jobs, I always tell people you may have to create a career. So for me, it was like T-shirts. You know, and then now it's like my handyman business. You know what I'm saying? When I was in prison, I was like, I'm gonna use all the things that I know to be successful, and it may not come right away. It may take working a job, you know, for a year or two. I worked at the gas station 5.5 years, and I probably hated 5 years of the time that I worked there. But I didn't want to quit because I didn't want my wife to think that I couldn't keep a job and be a burden to her.
Even though you weren't making what
Man,
you feel like you should have been making,
I
you
would
stuck
call
through
her
it.
crying. I would call her in tears like, I want to quit. And she wasn't even tripping, but I was just like, nah, I can't quit. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know what's next because I didn't have a plan. You know what I'm
And you
saying?
didn't want to go back.
Yeah, and I didn't want to go back because especially, you know, coming from where I come from, when you get in a tight spot, it's like you need money. It's like I'm gonna sell drugs,
Right.
You know, so that was like immediate thought. But yeah, you have to believe in yourself, right? Believe in yourself is important. Don't let nobody tell you, not even the world, that you ain't nothing. You can do whatever it is you want to do. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Just be realistic about what that is, to be
Sure.
honest with you. And then you have to know that if once you start, you've already succeeded. Because some people never start.
Right.
They talk about doing things. So whatever it is that you choose to do, you know. But I think the most important thing is really to have a plan, right? I didn't have a real plan, but I knew I wanted to do like certain things, right? So I always tell people, write your plan down because sometimes you just need to, you know, tangibly look at it.
Visualize it.
Yeah. And write down how you're going to make that happen, right? I need to do this. I need to buy studio equipment. I need to do this. I need to get a camera. All these things, whatever you feel like you need to do, how you going to do it, what, you know, what if it's going to cost you some money or whatever, and then start going down the steps. And you may not get to where you want to get, right? You may feel like you failed, but you really didn't. You just start over.
Right.
And figure out a better way. Okay, I did that. Now I just got to do it like this. I got out September. I got a job selling. I got September 13, 2013. I got a job selling cars. I worked that job for 2 months and I got fired, right? My homeboy was my boss, whatever, and he called me into work. Had me come all the way from Converse to Marbach to fire me.
Wow.
He could have texted me and be
He's
like,
your
hey,
friend.
man, yeah. Hey, man,
We good.
For 6 months, I didn't have a job. I didn't even look for a job. I was hanging out the barbershop every day, running my mouth. My wife, man, she didn't complain. She didn't hassle me or nothing. And we've discussed that she felt some type of way, but she was just trying to see what I was going to do. And I recognized that. So I got a job at a warehouse. I got through a temp service, and I got fired. Got a job at another warehouse. I got sick, and I was like, "Hey man, I need to leave." They said, "If you leave, you can't come back." Well, I left. I was sick. Well, used to getting fired. Got a job at a gas station at Exxon. They hired me before they did a background check, and the girl was like, "I hope they keep you." 2 weeks later, she called me in the office. "We gotta let you go." I cried. I'm walking to my cousin's house. I'm in tears because I'm like, I'm trying to do the right thing,
Right.
and I can't keep no job. And my friend Heather, she called me, "Hey, I can get you a job at this other gas station. Go over here, talk to this person." Okay, I go there. I go for the interview. He interviewed me. I leave. I'm feeling good about myself. Like about 2 weeks go by, I ain't heard back. So I think I went up there. "Hey man, what's up?" "Oh man, I was just about to call you." "Okay." And that's how I ended up getting a job at the gas station at the Valero. And like I said, I worked there 5.5 years. But my 4th year is when I got the job at the church. When I left the gas station, I was making $10 an hour. This was December 31st, 2019. January 2020. My daughter's birthday is the 15th. We finna have a birthday party. This is the last story I'm gonna tell you. I have $100 and some to my name. I had quit the gas station because the church was paying me $14 an hour. So I was like, okay, the church paying me good money. I could supplement what I made at the gas station because I was only making $300 a week by making T-shirts. And it hadn't started happening yet. But it was only just like weeks into the year. My friend who's passed away now, I seen that HEB, and I was taking some coins to exchange for money so I could have some money. And she says, "Hey, I need some T-shirts made." And it's a Sunday. It's not even nothing open to get, no material, nothing. No, it was a Saturday. And my sister was with me, and I said, "Hey," she said, "I need some shirts." Keisha said, "I need some shirts done." And I said, it's too late. And my sister said, "He needs the money, he gonna do it." The money I made that I exchanged for change was enough money to get the material. Went to Hobby Lobby, got the material, made the shirts. I think it was like $120 I made. So I put that with the money, was able to pay for my daughter's birthday. After that, my T-shirt business picked up. And I had made more money making T-shirts. Like in the time lead after that, weeks, I made a whole bunch of money making T-shirts. And I even made working. So I'm still at the church. March made a year that I was at the church. COVID hits. So they cutting people's hours. They pulled me to the side and say, "Alvin, we know you quit your job to work here full time. And we know you need to take care of your family. So even though we're cutting hours, we're going to let you keep your hours."
Oh, wow.
I was the receptionist at the church. The people that did that job, they did it voluntarily. They didn't get paid, but they paid me to do it.
Because they knew you were taking care of your family.
So they paid me to do that job. That was in March. And then June comes. I'm gonna quit the church. I never got that job with intentions of staying there, right? I'm like, I need to go drive trucks so I can make more money. We take my mom to Corpus, and I had told Anthony, I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go drive trucks." I had already called the company, set up a meeting to meet with the guy, Roadmaster, to meet with the company Roadmaster to get enrolled in school. So I was supposed to do that following Friday. So we went to Corpus for the weekend, and my boss, Mr. Nate, was like, "Is everything all right?" And I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Okay." And he kept on asking this question. And I'm thinking maybe Anthony told him that I was going to quit, because I had told Anthony and our head boss that I was going to quit. And I hadn't told Mr. Nate. So I'm thinking he feels some type of way.
Sure.
So when I come back Monday, he says, "We need to talk." I said, "Okay." So Tuesday, he says, "We need to meet. We're going to meet after lunch." So me, him, our head boss, and the pastor. Well, I didn't know the pastor was coming, but the pastor came. And they had already told me when I first started working there, if the pastor ever needs to talk to you, you're probably going to get fired because you did something wrong. So when the pastor comes in there,
you automatically think you're done.
And we in our mask, and I'm just like trying to figure out I know he's not tripping about me not telling him I was quitting. And the pastor said, "What did you do?" And I was like, "Nah, I'm ready." And he's like, "I'm just joking with you." We pray. They said, Mr. Nate, you want to say something to Alvin? And then he started praising me, telling me, how good I am with my job, I'm a good person. Hey man, I'm 80-something years old. I've retired already. I'm retiring again. I feel like you'd be great for the supervisor position. They handed me a pamphlet, a folder, what my job description would be, and how much I would be getting paid. I never got paid that much money ever working.
And they're offering you a position.
Yeah, they offered me the supervisor position, and I'm crying under this mask. I was crying under that mask, and we had been living in a house since 2018, and my wife was paying the majority of the bills. So it was a blessing to be able to that all this happened the way that it happened. And you never know, what God has in store for
sure.
you, how you're like, because it took me a year to even get the job at the gas station.
Right.
And if I don't keep that job at the gas station, which is my whole point of telling you this, from the time I got out, September, I got the job at the gas station in October 2014. I worked there till 2019, to the end of 2019. And I started working at the church in 2019, in March of 2019. And so I worked 2 jobs for almost a year. But I met the person that gave me a job at the church at the gas station.
And you wouldn't have met him.
I would have never met him.
If you would have given up.
I would have never met him if I would have quit that job and did something else. So, and he was the boss. When he was a supervisor at the time, and then he left and Mr. Nate took over. You know what I'm saying? So then a year comes around, and then now it's my turn, and I'm a good employee.
Sure.
I'm always on time and all this. So if I quit though, I never meet Marcus, and he had a Mustang. We laughing and joking about this Mustang, and I'm telling him, "Hey man, y'all hiring?" Really just joking with him. And he came in one day, "Man, you still need a job?" And I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Call me tomorrow." Called him. I get hired. They start me with $12 an hour. I was working Monday through Wednesday, and I'm just working 9 to 3. That was easy hours. So I'm working there, working at church. Working at the gas station after the church, and the rest of the week working every day of the week. Then they paid me extra $2 to work on Thursday. So now I'm working Monday to Thursday, making $14 an hour, and which was my motivation to quit the gas station.
Sure.
I'm like, I'm making $10 an hour as an assistant manager at the gas station, and the church is paying me $14 an hour. Like I'm good.
No brainer.
And the hours is I don't even work the weekends. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? It's a wonderful job. But if I quit the gas station, I never meet Marcus. And then if I quit the gas station, I never get this job to be introduced to Marcus, Anthony, and Mr. Nate and Gerald, these older men who
and got all the knowledge.
Who got all this knowledge. Who, when I say brought peace to my heart, I used to call my wife every day complaining about this job. Like, I'm gonna kill somebody. I'm gonna kill one of these kids. I never even get this peace that I have, right? To this day, it's the best job that I've ever had. You know what I'm saying? These people generally care about my family and all of these things. And I worked there for 5.5 years before I quit my job to pursue comedy full time. So if these things don't even happen, if I don't even have the courage to see things through, and I just, I'm gonna go back to selling drugs. I'm gonna go back to the streets. I'm in prison.
We're not having this conversation.
I don't watch Jay graduate. I don't get to be a part of my kids' lives. I don't see Ashton graduate. I don't see Tyree graduate. I don't see a Joy grow up to be the young lady that she's growing to be. All of these things, you know what I'm saying? Like I miss so much of my kids' lives because I'm in and out of prison. And then I'm proving people right. Like, oh yeah, he's
just another statistic.
He's never going to get it right. And then I don't even become comedian Alvin Perry. community activist Alvin Perry. I don't become none of the things that I always aspired to be or I wanted to try or anything else if I just, just this ain't working out.
Right. And you wouldn't have the positive dad side that you have today.
Yeah. So you cannot quit, man, because if you really want something, you have to just stick with it, man. It'll work out. I used to do this too, podcast. You're gonna have one listener.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna turn into two. It's
Exactly.
gonna turn into 100. You're gonna get discouraged when you look at your numbers in the beginning.
I don't even look at them.
But you keep on going because again,
it's about the message to me. I even had a podcast, and I'll end with this story. The other day, I got this new camera, and things didn't happen the way they needed to happen. And long story short, I didn't get to test the cameras. I literally plugged and play, recorded it, did the message. I give the memory card to Nick, and he tells me, he's like, man, this it's not the greatest. I don't know if you want to put this out. You might want to redo it. I listened to it. The message was so powerful. I didn't care about the audio at that point. I just cared about the message that was being displayed and out there, and it was so positive. And honestly, the reels that we've gotten from that, in my eyes, crappy quality, have been the most receptive, been the most engaging, and the quality wasn't great, but the message was there. Alvin, I really want to appreciate you coming by.
I'm not even saying this. This has been my favorite.
I appreciate that, man.
This is one. Again, a lot of people don't interview me, so they don't even get this right here.
Sure.
So I appreciate y'all.
No, and tell everyone how they can get a hold of you. Okay. Dreams to Reality Tour. Give them all the information.
So if you want to find me on social media, it's comedian Alvin Perry almost anywhere. TikTok, Instagram, even Facebook. I have a website, www.comedianalvinperry.com. So anything that you need to find is on there. Upcoming shows, my social media, all that, EPK, booking, all that. I have my comedy special coming up. I'm filming my first comedy special, Dreams to Reality, because it's a dream of mine that is coming to a reality. October the 17th at Woodlawn Theater, which is not too far from here. No, it's definitely far from here. Well, it's not that far, but it's just south of Fredericksburg, 1920 Fredericksburg. October the 17th, man, it's going to be a great show. And I'm filming it with people that I started comedy with, the Loud Pack Boys, Bobby, also B. Smitty and Clifton Simmons. And if you need a handyman, I can do most things, garage cleaning, haul junk, H4H. You can reach me on social media. You can text my phone, 210-209-2721. And if you just need somebody to talk to, just hit me up.
I love it.
I'm a good listener.
No, I really appreciate it, Alvin. Thank you so much. And as always, welcome to the dad side.
I love this podcast.
You already know what time it is. Welcome